Did you know that keystone species like lion, tiger, leopard, cheetah plays a very important role in maintaining the balance in ecosystem? Let's see what happens when these keystone species becomes extinct in the world, how it impacts the environment. First, let's start with food chain. What is food chain? The food chain describes who eats whom in the wild. Every living thing from one-celled algae to giant blue whales needs food to survive. The transfer of energy starts with plants. Plants are able to convert sunlight into a chemical form of energy through the process of photosynthesis. One of the end products of photosynthesis is glucose, a sugar in which energy is stored. Plants are called producers because they produce their own energy without consuming another organism. Animals are called consumers. They must consume plants and other animals to obtain energy. Animals that feed only on plants are called herbivores or primary consumers since they eat producers. Animals that feed on other animals are called carnivores. They are called secondary consumers if they eat herbivores. Another kind of secondary consumer is an omnivore, which is an animal that feeds on both plants and other animals. Any animal that hunts and feeds on other animals is called a predator, and the animals that predators feed on are called prey. All carnivores are predators. Energy moves up a food chain, starting with plants, then moving up through herbivores and then carnivores. A fourth group of organisms are called decomposers, which break down the organic matter left behind by these other organisms like dead animals or plants. Organisms within each group gain energy by feeding on the organisms in the group below them on the food chain. The top predator of a food chain is the carnivore within the community that does not have any predators of its own. When the top predator dies, their remains are broken down by decomposers like bacteria and fungi. Decomposers return nutrients back to soil to help restart the food chain. A keystone species is a life form that affects an entire ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of plants and animals. No other creature can do the job a keystone species does. Without them, the ecosystem would have to completely change. It could even disappear completely. Any creature may be a keystone species. Most keystone species are animals that have a huge influence on food webs. A food web is a system of how plants and animals depend on each other for food. A keystone species is often a predator or hunter. Just a few of them can have a huge effect on the animal populations they hunt. What happens to the ecosystem when top predators becomes extinct? Let's see with an example. In the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, gray wolves are a keystone species. This ecosystem stretches across the boundaries of the US states of Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho. It includes mountains, forests, meadows, freshwater habitats, and homes for animals. The elk, bison, rabbit, and bird species are eaten by predators in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. How they eat and where they nest depends upon what wolves do. The US government set aside land for Yellowstone National Park in the late 1800s. At that time, hundreds of wolves roamed the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. The government feared that the wolf would hunt too many elk and bison as well as livestock like cows, so the government removed wolves from the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. The last remaining wolves in Yellowstone were killed in 1924. The removal of this key predator started a top-down change in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Without a top predator, elk populations in Yellowstone exploded. Elk herds competed for food resources. Plants such as grasses and reeds did not have time or space to grow back. This hurt other species populations such as fish, beaver, and songbirds. These animals rely on plants and their roots, flowers, wood, and seeds for survival. It wasn't just animals that were affected. Stream banks wore away. This happened because plants were no longer there to hold the soil in place. Lake and river temperature increased as trees and shrubs no longer gave them shade. In the 1990s, the US government began bringing wolves back to the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. The results have been impressive. Elk populations have shrunk, willow tree heights have increased, and beaver and songbird populations have recovered. Even herbivores, plant eaters can also be keystone species. In African dry grasslands such as the Serengeti in Tanzania, elephants are a keystone species. Elephants eat shrubs and small trees there. Elephants knock them over and uproot them. This keeps it a grassland or savanna rather than a forest. With elephants to control the tree population, grasses thrive. This feeds grazing animals such as antelope, wild beasts, and zebras. Smaller animals such as mice can burrow in the warm, dry soil. Predators such as lions and hyenas depend on the savanna for finding prey. In this earth, every life is connected to each other in some way or the other. We as human beings have made many mistakes knowingly or unknowingly without knowing the impact in this earth. Animals have lost their habitat because of us. That in turn affects the ecosystem as we looked at it in the earlier part of this video. The current human population is 7.98 billion people, and by 2050 it is expected to be around 8.6 billion people in this world. Increase in population leads to increase in usage of land to live, food to eat, water to drink. Scientists are saying that the earth will not be able to provide life-sustaining resources indefinitely for human population, and they are claiming that we need 3 earths to sustain our life if human population keeps growing at this rate. We need to act more responsibly and be more conscious of our environment. Hope you found this video informative and useful. Please share it to your friends to create awareness about our environment. Thank you.